So this is the fourth recommendation. As we told, they should be the financial aid should be given only on the basis of quality of education, only on the basis of result. If some institutions are not keeping a better result in the case of the quality of the students, they should not be given any financial aid according to this commission. Then another recommendation is the granting aid system should be for private colleges too, not only for the indigenous educational systems and not only for the some educational institutions run by the governments, but also for the colleges. Some private colleges were there. So actually their intention was to promote education. So the granting aid system should be for private colleges too. The financial aid should be given not only for the indigenous education systems, but the private colleges too. Some colleges which are run by some private people or private agencies. This was another recommendation. Then again comes a new recommendation, something novel. Scholarship should be provided for students who wanted to go outside the country for higher education. As the Britishers just started giving education to Indians. And during those times, there were different foreign universities which were giving advanced modern education. In our country, modern education was just started. But in some other countries like Great Britain, there was better educational opportunities. So this commission recommended that if some people, some students wanted to go outside for getting education, then government should provide some scholarships on the basis of the merit of the students. So again, a very good recommendation, an excellent recommendation, something new in the case of Indian educational system. Then another recommendation, and this recommendation was there in the, not woman. Special care should be given for giving education for children coming from Muslim community. I do not know what was the real intention behind this recommendation. Maybe because the Muslims during those days were not getting proper education, or they were turning away from modern education, or they might not be ready for getting modern education, or otherwise it might be their policy of dividing and ruling. I do not know what was the real intention behind that. And this recommendation was there. Special care should be given for giving education for children coming from Muslim community. Yeah. So I do not know what was the real intention behind that. Maybe because they were backward in the case of education during those days, because some Muslim leaders were requesting the community members not to get English education. I have heard so, because they were against the education given by Britishers. So it might be because of the poor situation in the case of education. Hunter Commission recommended such a thing in the report. Yeah. Then comes a double whammy to Christian missionaries. Native agencies should be given preference over the missionaries in running educational institutions. And this is something, some irony, yeah. Because actually Christian missionaries forwarded some complaints to the government. And Christian missionaries requested the government to withdraw from the secondary education and to give some private agencies the right, the power to run the secondary education system. because they wanted to get more opportunity for organizing educational institutions in India. And they expected that they would be given more opportunities. But Hunter Commission recommended that native agencies, rather than the Christian missionaries, should be given more preferences in running secondary educational institutions. Can anyone tell me what was the real logic behind that? Yes. What was the real logic behind that? Tell me. Anyone can tell me. Why? Why did Hunter Commission recommend so? Just think. Just guess. Just make an intelligent guessing. Yes, anyone? Yes. I think you're able to hear me, yeah?
Yeah, can you repeat the question?
And you see a recommendation there. Actually, Christian missionaries were requesting the government to withdraw from the secondary educational system because they wanted to organize the secondary educational system. But Hunter Commission recommended that native agencies or the local people, local agencies or the local organizations, not the missionaries, should be given preference over the missionaries to run educational institutions. What might be the logic behind that? Why? Why did?
Because local agencies is more capable of understanding the students and their problems, concerns, etc.
Yeah, then you're right, because actually local people would recognize the interest of the native people. Yeah. And here, education should be, the curriculum should be on the basis of the community factors. So if you are not giving education on the basis of the cultural and community factors of the native people, they will not be coming forward to get education. Yeah. See, even if you're building a school, even if you're organizing an educational system, even if you're establishing an educational institution, if students are not coming forward to get education, is there any use with that educational institution? Yeah. Is there any use? Tell me.
No, sir.
No. So there should be students. These people should come forward. The citizens should come forward. Indians should come forward to get education. So only the community leaders or only the local leaders can recognize or realize the real interest, the real taste of the native people. And only they can make the people or the youngsters come forward to get education. So Hunter Commission just recommended that if the government wanted to give or wanted to withdraw from secondary educational system, if they are withdrawing from the secondary educational system, and if they wanted to give opportunity for private agencies to run educational institutions, then they should give more preference to native agencies rather than Christian missionaries. So these are the recommendations of Hunter Commission. So you should remember these points. This is the first commission, education commission in India. Sometimes this question is asked in some competitive examinations such as NET exam, set exam, CAT exam. Okay. So this is the first education commission in India. Macaulay means was not the first report of a commission because Macaulay was a single person. And Charles Wood's dispatch also was not a report from a commission, because Charles Wood was a single person and he was submitting a report. And here a commission was formed under the chairmanship of William Hunter. There were some other members. So this is the first educational commission in India. And the commission was formed just because the Christian missionaries were requesting the government to withdraw from secondary educational system. The commission recommended that importance should be, or focus should be given to the primary or the primary educational, basic educational system. And they also recommended that local bodies should be given the right or opportunity to design the curriculum for the primary educational system. Again, decentralization of, decentralization of administration. Then the second recommendation was government should withdraw from the secondary educational system, completely withdraw from the secondary educational system, and secondary education system can be organized by private agencies. Then another recommendation was the financial aid given to the indigenous or the traditional educational system should be on the basis of some criteria, on the basis of a result of the institutions. And another recommendation was government should give financial aid to private colleges too. Then another recommendation was scholarship should be given to meritorious students if they wanted to go outside India for getting better education. And Muslims should be, there should be some measures, some special measures to provide education for Muslim children. Then native agencies should be given more preferences over the missionaries in running educational institutions. And this is something about Hunter Commission. And my dear students, you should be careful because you have learned 3 reports: Macaulay's minutes, then Charles Wood's dispatch, then now Hunter Commission report. And you will learn more reports. Next, we will learn Indian Education Commission report, then Kolkata University Commission report. Then we will learn Abbott Wood report. Then we will learn Sargent plan. Then we will learn some other educational commissions after the independence. And there is a chance for having some confusion in your mind. So just look at the important recommendations given by different commissions and keep those recommendations in your mind. Some commissions will be giving the same recommendations. Okay, for example, women education. Almost all the commissions will tell there should be special measures for women education. And this is something common for all the commissions. But you should look at some exclusive points. Some recommendations, some new recommendations, some different recommendations given by different commissions. For example, downward filtration theory. It was Macaulay's recommendation and such things. When you come to Charles Wood's dispatch, you would see establishment of separate departments at each province, then selection of regional language, then establishment of universities, establishment of colleges, and such things. When you look at Hunter Commission, you will see more importance to primary educational system, then scholarships for meritorious students. So you should concentrate at the major recommendations of different commissions. And you should keep the chronological order of different reports and commissions in India, right? So the time is over, 10:29. Just leave the class and join Faisal's class. I will be back during the third hour. Thank you. Thank you very much for cooperating with me. Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.